Hey, what's going on, Orbit family? Tempest here, bringing you another segment of Orbit News. This time we have to talk about the obvious thing, which is the Halo World Championship X Games Invitational that happened just this past weekend. So basically, what the format was is 8 teams, 6 from North America and 2 from Europe. The 2 European teams were Planet eSports, which was from Germany, and then you had Epsilon eSports from the UK. On Epsilon Esports, we had Buck 20, Buck 57, Snipe Drone, and Jimbo. Jimbo was just an absolute beast this whole entire weekend. He played like, he's been in North America forever, playing in all the tournaments and stuff. And he plays like Snipe Down. I mean, he really just like played out of his mind this weekend. And I think the only reason why he lost in the pool play was just because of his teammates. I think that if his teammates were playing as good as him, or even like a little bit less, then they could have gotten into the top 4 and possibly had a really good chance of winning the whole entire tournament and getting a gold medal. But unfortunately, they didn't. And then talking about Penta Esports. Not really any notable players on the team. I don't think any of them speak English. They're from Germany, so just shout out, to them for coming out and trying to, give the other teams a run for their money and the gold medals and all that stuff. So, talking about the rules, basically how it goes is we've got Group A and Group B. We've got pool play. For a team to go into the top 4 bracket and get out of pool play, you have to win 2 games. You have to go 2-0. And I think they only had 2 matches for each team. I'm not too sure, because just the format is a little bit confusing. Just how they explained it. Like they said that the minimum a team would have to win is 2 games or something like that, and then it's whatever. But anyways, just talk about day 1. We had Allegiance, CLG, Renegades, and Evil Geniuses 3-0ing their opponents. This is the first time I've ever seen in pool play, or just in the whole entire competition, teams just 3-0ing all the teams. So it was just a sweep day on day 1 group play. So Allegiance played Epsilon. On Allegiance, we had Kratos, L-Town, Naded, and Suspector. They 3-0'd Epsilon with ease. Allegiance coming in, obviously, as the number 1 seeded team from online play, doing really good in the cups, having like 195 wins and only like 50 losses on game battles, being the number 1 team. Since Halo 5 came out, they've been the number 1 team. So we've got Naded, who's been around since 2005. He was on Storm Ventures, I think, or Perfect Storm, whichever one it was. There were 2 teams. I can't remember which one he was on, but he's a veteran. He's been playing competitive Halo for 10 years, and he knows what it takes to win. Unfortunately, he hasn't won a single tournament. I think he won an FFA tournament in Halo 2. I'm not too sure, but on a 4v4 format stand of things, he hasn't won anything. And he is regarded as one of the best players in the game, and it just sucks. He just keeps getting, the short end of the stick with teammates. No good teams want to pick him up, or they just, already have teammates. So it just sucks that, he can't seem to win a tournament for whatever reason, and he's just so good. And then CLG 3-0 Penta. The big match was Team Liquid versus Renegades, because what happened before the tournament was Team Liquid, which was Ace, Ninja, Unlegit, and I think it was... maybe it was Hines, or it was Hysteria or something on Team Liquid, and Ace, who was the captain, dropped Ninja from Team Liquid, and the Team Liquid had to part ways. They said, his playstyle didn't fit the team or something like that. But what it really was is that they just didn't get along. They were butting heads in game. They just didn't, agree with what one another had to say. And now the team is Ace, APG, Hines, and Unlegit. And then Renegades is Ninja, Spartan, Stellar, and Victory X. Interesting formation of Renegades is Ninja being dropped from Liquid and going to Renegades, and then Spartan, who is a kind of a new player. He's been around since Halo 4, making a name for himself. He's got just as much energy as Naded, and he's just got a lot of potential. He's a young guy, and he's doing really good stuff. Very good with the sniper. And then we have Stellar, who most of you know, you Optic Gaming fans. He left the Optic Gaming roster to join this Renegades roster because of how poorly Optic Gaming seed was and how they were playing. We don't even know if they're going to be able to get into the Halo World Championship in March because of just how bad they're playing and how bad their seed is. I mean, they don't even have a top 16 seed. It's kind of embarrassing, for the Optic Gaming name, and I kind of feel bad for Hex, to be honest with you. And then the last person is also a veteran. He's been around just as long as Naded. Victory X, he was part of the agency in Halo 2, and he's been on teams like Final Boss, Triggers Down, huge names. He's won tournaments. He's just a very versatile player. I mean, you can't really describe his playstyle. You can't really describe, what role he has on the team other than just saying that he's the glue for a team. He has, a lot of individual skill. He does get OBJ, and he puts up the stats. I mean, he does everything. And Renegades 3-0'd Liquid, just stomped them. Ninja rallying his team, getting the energy. Ninja's really pissed off that they dropped him, and they just 3-0'd sweep Liquid like it was, nothing. And then EG, the number one team. I mean, technically, we did have two number one teams, number one seeded teams coming into this tournament. We had the number one seeded online team Allegiance with Naded on it, and then we had the number one LAN seeded Evil Geniuses, since they haven't lost. Before this, they haven't lost a event in 5 events. And talking about Evil Geniuses, before the event, they also had something similar happen between Renegades and Liquid, between Evil Geniuses and CLG Counterlogic Gaming. What happened was, Evil Geniuses was, Lunchbox, Roy, Sniped Out, and Lethal, and for whatever reason, Lethal wanted to leave, and he actually did leave to join CLG, and CLG dropped Ogre 2. Ogre 2 is the GOAT of, eSports. He has won more tournaments than anybody in eSports. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're talking about Counter-Strike, League of Legends, any esport game. He is the most winningest player, and he is just a beast. He is the GOAT. He's been around since 2001 with his brother Ogre 1, who is now in Australia. He's been playing competitive Halo since 2001. I mean, that's coming up. We're coming up on 15 years now. He is the OG. There is no one before him. He is just the god. And for whatever reason, they dropped him. I mean, he is the OBJ player. He is the leader. I mean, he brings so much to the team. Everybody says that he's washed. He really isn't. He's not washed. His individual skill is still there. And since everybody shouldn't be saying that he's washed, because this format that Halo 5 Guardians has is more suited towards him, since it has the pistol that most people are using versus the assault rifle. Because in Halo 1, which he is most known by, him and his brother were just dominating everybody. He was so good with the pistol, and now that the pistol's back, he should be regarded as one of the best in the game, but for whatever reason they wanted to drop him, and Lethal joined CLG because his reasoning was, we haven't won all the online tournaments, and we're, just because they lost like a couple online tournaments, and online doesn't really mean too much, he decided to jump and join CLG. And it even doesn't make more sense, when you think back to Halo 2 Anniversary, when they didn't win every single online cup. They lost some, and Lethal never thought about leaving. So it was kind of confusing why he left, since they, if they lost a LAN event, that I could understand, then you actually have a good reason. But I don't think it's a good reason to leave because you lost a couple online cups, because of connection or whatever. And then, it's whatever. But the Evil Geniuses 3-0s, Dream Team, and CLG is now Frosty, Snakebite, Lethal, and Royal 2. So you've got like 3 main slayers, and Lethal, who's like a support guy. I mean, Lethal is a main slayer too. He has been in the past. He's very good with a sniper, and his individual skill is amazing. But for this role, he's got to fill the shoes of Ogre 2, so he's got to be the OBJ player and support player. So that didn't really work out. He made it to the grand finals with CLG, but it didn't work out, in the grand finals as best as he thought it was going to. But yeah, Thursday group play day 1. It was a sweep day. Every team got sweeped. No match went to a game 4. So moving on to day 2 group play. We had Allegiance just proving that they are the number 1 seeded team, and they took down Renegades and Team Liquid. And they went on to be undefeated in Pool A, only dropping 1 map in each of their series. And then after a disappointing day 1 for the European competitors, Penta tried to rally back. They weren't able to. But on the other hand, Epsilon was able to 3-1 Renegades, which was the biggest news story of the whole entire X Games, because Renegades having what the roster looks like on paper. And now they 3-0 Team Liquid, and Team Liquid isn't a pushover. They're actually a really good team. It was just insane that Epsilon was able to, beat Renegades. I mean, who knows? Maybe it was the jet lag why they lost. They got some sleep. They woke up. They, beat Renegades 3-1. Jimbo was the big story. If Jimbo wasn't playing the way he was playing, they would not have been able to beat Renegades. And like I said, I think that if his teammates were playing as good as him, they could have had a potential win on this tournament. But yeah, Renegades lost 3-1. It was a huge upset. Evil Geniuses fell to Logic Gaming 3-0 Nip Nada, which was really surprising also because Evil Geniuses really pissed off that Lethal left them 3 days before the permanent roster lock. They wanted to get revenge and they just got 3-0'd. So I mean, a lot of people said that it was technical difficulties with Xboxes and Halo, but the referees didn't think that it was enough to replay the matches. So Logic Gaming got the 3-0 against EG. Team Liquid went on to go 1-1 for the day, and then that left them in last place for Group A. They were only able to beat Epsilon in their final match of the day, and then that meant that Epsilon and Liquid would be eliminated in the tournament because the tiebreaker rules mean there's no consolation. We had 4 teams that placed 5th through 8th, so there's not like a defining specific placing. 5th through 8th, there's no consolation. For whatever reason, they just don't want to do consolation, even if it's not shown on air. I think that they should do consolation to get a specific ranking, a specific placing for the teams, like they did back in Major League Gaming days. But anyways, we had Penta and Dream Team also get knocked out, so this left Renegades, Allegiance, CLG, and Evil Geniuses in the top 4 bracket, starting off in the semifinals. So day 3, final bracket, we have Logic Gaming and Renegades going up against each other, and then we have Allegiance and Evil Geniuses going up against each other in the semifinals. And of course, we're not going to have CLG and EG in the semifinals. We're going to have them in the grand finals. So props to X Games, Major League Gaming, for matching those up correctly and saving the best for last. So the first semifinal match, we had Renegades versus CLG. Renegades with the aggressive play style, and then CLG with the not passive but passive aggressive, controlling the map strategically kind of play style. So it was intense. We had Twitch, MLG.TV, and ESPN showcasing the whole entire semifinals, and so Renegades and CLG, we had Truth Capture the Flag and Rig Strongholds going to CLG, using their strategic playstyle like I talked about, winning against Renegades, and then they actually knocked Renegades out. So Renegades would have to wait in the bronze match, and bronze match was the only match that they had for consolation because they can't give a bronze medal to 2 teams, so they had to do a consolation match for a bronze medal. So then we had Allegiance against Evil Geniuses, and this actually, they were neck and neck. This went down to the wire. It went up to 6 games, and then Evil Geniuses took down Allegiance, and they denied Nate again, a LAN tournament. So he's still waiting for that LAN victory. And then Allegiance would go on a sweep Renegades 4-0 in a dominating fashion in the bronze match, so they would get the bronze medals. And this means that Renegades went 0-8. They had the 0-8 record in the top 4 bracket, which was very surprising. They weren't able to take a game off of anybody, Allegiance or Logic Gaming. So it's kind of embarrassing for them, embarrassing for Ninja coming in with this roster. Sucks for Stellar. He was able to come out, but after leaving, it sucks that he got 4th place. No money, no medals or anything like that, and not be able to win 1 game in the semifinals, even in the bronze match. So that kind of sucks. So we had the grand finals match. We have Evil Geniuses versus Logic Gaming. The story, did Lethal make a mistake? Evil Geniuses was going to try to prove to him that he made a mistake if they win. If not, then Lethal would say, hey, I made the right decision, and Logic gave you hey, we made the right decision in dropping Ogre 2, and nobody could say anything about that. And this match was titled, Hurricane Lethal, just because of what Lethal did. He left, and then we had teams like Winter Fox, Envious, Optic Gaming, and Renegades making team changes just because he left, along with Ogre 2 being dropped from Logic Gaming, which is crazy. And then going to the grand finals, the money, we have $15,000 for first place, and then it drops down from there, totaling $30,000 in prizes for top 3. And then whoever loses gets the silver medals, whoever wins gets the gold medals. And it went to a game 7. It was tied 3-3. We had a Truth Slayer and Coliseum Capture the Flag, 2 symmetrical maps beginning, and Evil Geniuses dominated the Truth game, and the Coliseum Capture the Flag went to CLG, so we're tied 1-1 in the series. After that, the game is tied 2-2 after Fathom captured the flag. And then I believe they played a Slayer game. I can't remember which one it was, but they played like maybe it was a Regret Slayer, or maybe it was, I can't remember which map it was. I think it was like an Eden Slayer or something like that. But then after that, we have a tie game. We have tie 2-2, and then it goes down to a 3-3 tie after CLG wins another game, and then Evil Geniuses wins another game. So now we're down to Regret Slayer. That's why I was thinking it wasn't Regret Slayer, because they have to play Regret Slayer in the finals. So neither here nor there. The important match, Regret Slayer. 50 kills, fast pace. Whoever wins this proves the other wrong, gets the gold medal, gets the 15K, and goes home happy. So we had Evil Geniuses winning this match. Just gonna get just putting it blunt out there. Evil Geniuses won the Slayer match on Regret. TS 50-40. Basically, what happened in the game is Evil Geniuses was able to control the map the whole entire time. They were holding top middle down. They were having a guy top fuel rod, top mid, and top carbine, making sure that Chronology Gaming was stuck in the base and they weren't able to really get a footing to go anywhere. But then later in the match, the last overshield of the game, the last fuel rod of the game came up. Chronology Gaming was actually able to get it. Snakebite got the overshield, and I can't remember who got the fuel rod, but the reason why it didn't work out and Evil Geniuses won the game was because they focused on not looking for the overshield guy, not killing the overshield guy, but instead killing his teammates and letting him just roam around or whatever. And they were just dodging fuel rods, bullets, and everything like that. So it just worked out for them, and they won 50-40, proving Lethal wrong, that he made the wrong decision. And he should have stayed with them, but they picked up Commonly, a young gun, and he got this is like his second or third tournament, land tournament, and he made it. He won, and they're 15K richer. They got the gold medals and everything. So breaking down the top 8 now, just for a final whatever, we have 5th through 8th, Team Liquid, Epsilon Esports, Dream Team, and Penta. Talking about Dream Team, we had Prototype and Ares Carries on the roster, along with Jesse Peace and Tyre Iron, which was kind of like a, what is a squad? It looks kind of weird. 2 established pro players with 2 people that we haven't really heard of. And then we had Epsilon Esports, Penta Esports, and Team Liquid. Renegades got 4th. 3rd place is Team Legions with Native. They get 5K and the bronze medals. 2nd place was Chronology Gaming, losing to EG in the finals. They get 10K and the silver medals. And of course, 1st place, Evil Geniuses, 15K and gold medals. Final placings. And the gold medals kind of look weird. When you look at them, they kind of look like a license plate, which is kind of funny. And then you compare them to like the Call of Duty gold medals and the other gold medals, and they actually look like circular gold medals. So I don't know, I think I was like kind of disappointed that just the way that the gold medals looked. But either way, it's awesome that this is the first time that Halo has gone to the X Games. I know this is like the 3rd or 2nd time Call of Duty has been there, and we had Dota 2, we had League of Legends, we had Counter-Strike Go, which was awesome. I know after the event we had like a professional female skier like talk trash to us, saying I don't think gold medals should be handed out to video game players. They sit on their ass and play video games all day, and a bunch of drama ensued after that. We've got a bunch of players still in Aspen, Colorado. Their fights were delayed because of the snow and stuff. So a lot of drama happening afterwards, with athletes saying that video gamers should not be able to get gold medals. It's disrespectful to the sport, yada yada, and everything. But I think what's even more disrespectful is that the coach Towie of EG didn't get a gold medal or anything. So that kind of sucks for him. But now we move on to the North American regionals. That's going to be happening in February. So that's going to be exciting to see who goes on. The next thing is going to be the last chance qualifier. We have a bunch of teams that are, in the works. Just to name a few of the teams that are going to be competing in the last chance qualifier. We have, Optic Gaming, of course. They actually just picked up a new roster. Flamesword and Maniac are sticking together in the Optic Gaming house, but they picked up Lifestyle, who's been around for a while. He's gotten, top 24 placings, respectful placings, but nothing to, make him really known. And then we have Chaser, GG, who is, basically in the same boat of Lifestyle. He's had good placings, but not good enough placings to get his name really out there into the public. And then we've got a bunch of random teams being put together. Canadians. I think Dark Scorpion, Moniz, and a couple other players are coming together. Reality Check with the Sedith Twins, of course, and a couple other teams. A bunch of teams that are going to be trying to get that first place spot, because that's the only thing that matters in this last chance qualifier. Whoever wins is going to be able to get that 16th spot, and they're going to be going on to the Halo World Championship and compete. Top 16 teams. And then we also have to have the Asian qualifier, regionals, and then we have to have a European. I think it's like the EMEA or something like that. I think that already happened, so you're going to have to see what the results are on that. But it was an awesome event. X Games was awesome. Final scores of the games for the best of 7, 4-3 going in favor of Evil Geniuses. Game 1 was Coliseum captured the flag. CLG won that 3-2. Game 2 with Truth Slayer. The winner was EG on that. 50-39 they won, and then the third one was Strongholds on the Rig. 166 Evil Geniuses wins, and then to tie it up, Capture the Flag on Fathom 3-2 in favor of CLG, and then CLG takes the next one 50-47 on Eden Slayer, and then the one to tie it up 3-3 to keep EG alive is Plaza Strongholds, and they won 100-73, and of course we got Slayer 50-40 going in favor of EG, and they get the gold medals. So moving forward, we're going to Kiki Wolfkill, who works for 3v3 Industries, announced that after everybody wants to know. So Halo Championship is ending in March. What's going to happen afterwards? We have a lot of stuff left in 2016, a lot of space for tournaments, things to happen. She said that there's actually going to be a pro league that's going to be happening after this $2 million tournament. And that's another thing to talk about, is that 3v3 needs to update the prize pool, because we're probably at $3 million now, because it was a while ago that, I think it was a couple months ago, that they announced that the Halo World Championship prize pool was at $2 million. So it's probably really close to $3 million, if not $3 million now, for the prize pool. Of course, the prize pool is getting funded by the microtransactions that 3v3 put in place, buying rec packs, buying the HDS armor and skins, and then we have like a Santa emblem and a bunch of stuff for the holidays that you can buy. So all that is going, I think like a portion of that, not all of it, but a portion of that is going to the prize pool, and that's why the prize pool is getting so big, is because it's getting funded for that by the crowd. So that's awesome, and it originally started at $1 million, so that would be like a $2 million increase just from people spending money on stuff. So that's pretty cool. So basically, a guy on Twitter said something, and then it made Chi Chow, who is a community manager for 3v3 Industries, say that the Halo World Championship is also the qualifying path to the HCS Pro League. That's the follow-up post champs. So that means that after March 19th to the 21st, which is the days that we're going to have this Halo World Championship, we're actually going to have a pro league. And I mean, there's nothing else that was announced. He just said the two words pro and league, so we can kind of get an idea of what's to come if we bring pro league over to Call of Duty, and we kind of remember how that kind of worked. So we can kind of get an idea of how it's going to work with that. So it's kind of cool that we're going to have a pro league. And Kiki Wolfkill also said that after the Halo World Championship concludes, we have some exciting plans with our partners to kick off a very organized Halo Pro League for sustained seasonal competitions. And then she said, of course, all of that will take us to the doorstep of next year's Halo World Championship. And right there she says that in 2017 we're going to have a Halo World Championship again for millions and millions of dollars. So that's awesome that they're going to continue on with that. And then in 2018, we're probably going to have a Halo 6 come out, maybe. 2018, probably Halo 6, because they usually do like a 3-year interval between each Halo game. But talking about the settings for the Halo Championship Series, I want you guys to hit up through the industries and let them know what you want the competitive settings to be. We kind of want radar to be taken out. They took out breakout forts, which was good. So if we all come together and we voice our opinion to them, they will eventually take things out. We just have to have a certain number of people at them versus the people that want the stuff to be left in there. So we have to beat the people that want it. So we need to hit them up on Twitter, hit up Quintahelio, hit up Josh Holmes, Kiki Wolfkill, Bonnie Ross, Frank O'Connor, Tan Ayub, all those people, Che Chow. Hit them up, say, hey, can you take out radar? Because we all know radar is not competitive. It's better to have people think more in the game. It's more competitive to use your instincts and always keep the opponent guessing, and always be like, okay, he's there. Because when I was playing with no motion sensor, because basically what happened was, when I first played competitive Halo back in Halo 2, and they didn't have motion sensor, I just got completely shat on because I didn't know how to play with no motion sensor. How am I supposed to know where people are? And then after playing it for a while with no motion sensor, I got used to it. I was able to have a motion sensor in my head based upon situations that happened in the game. I was able to know where people are going to go because you've got to outthink the opponent. You've got to do like reverse psychiatry, reverse reverse psychology, I think. And you have to be like, okay, if I was him, would I go here? If he was there, he's going to go here now, stuff like that. Trial and error. So the more you play with that motion sensor, the more you're going to be able to use your instincts and take situations that you've gotten into before, and you won't even need the motion sensor because you'll have a imaginary motion sensor in your head. So that's just my thoughts on that, and that's going to conclude this episode of Orbit News. I'm Temporistic. Please like the video, subscribe. I think I rambled on a little bit here in this video, but that's because I love Halo a lot, and I just want to see it succeed. So X Games was phenomenal. Congratulations to EG and TLG and Allegiance for taking home some money and the medals and everything. So now we're going to be waiting to see what happens with the North American regionals, and then the last chance qualifier, and then the tournaments that Europe is going to have and Asia's going to have, and see where their teams lie, and then we're all going to come together, battle it out, and see who wins. So it's going to be a good time until March and everything. That's all I have to say. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys in the next Orbit News, which will be not next week, but the week after. I'm trying to do Orbit News every other week instead of every week. Keep fresh content, different content stuff. So like I said, if you enjoyed it, leave a like. See you guys later. Peace out.